My quiet time, my alone time, is that what you mean?
Yes.
What about it and how I divided it?
How have you nourished it so that it can overflow onto the stage?
So you have this very poetic notion of what solitude is. Now I have nourished it so it can pour forth onto the stage. You think that that's where art is? Art is a result of solitude? Is that what you're saying?
That's the point where I'm at with my art.
Now is this your practice, your meditation? That's different than, I don't know if it's the same thing as me being in, I was talking to my colleague Tali, and I was saying I really respect him because he goes into rehearsals, he's written out what he wants to achieve. I go into rehearsal not knowing what I'm going to do. I have a vague idea or feeling. So I don't know if, I'm not quiet when I go into a studio. That's one of my problems, I'm not quiet. I'm full of emotion, I'm full of thoughts, and then I just start firing. There are people, I think, who get into a quiet state. Sounds like you're that type of a maker. And then you go in, and it's essentially your religious practice, or your spiritual practice. Is that what you feel? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, nice work if you can get into it. What's your name, brother?
I'm Katrina Sarah.
What's your art form?
Poetry and Afro-Caribbean dance.
Poetry and Afro-Caribbean dance. And I gotta get a kiss. Up here. Up there. Is there a microphone up there?
Yes, there's a microphone over here.
Speak up so we can hear you.
Yeah, hi, my name is Richard. I'm a dancer. I must say, what an honor to have you here. I gotta admit that some of the best undergraduate papers I wrote as a dance major were about your work.
Okay, now I got just a little slower because I'm not understanding what the microphone. Say once again, please.
Yeah, I said that as a dance major, some of the best papers that I wrote were about your work. Currently, my work is around using dance as a form of suicide prevention with queer youth and choreographing queer sexualities. I was wondering if you could speak to the policing that happens to the body on the concert stage and off the concert stage, especially bodies of color, queer bodies, and thicker bodies. So could you speak to how can one choreograph artwork that speaks to that narrative?
Well, you've just done it, right? Well, first of all, you got to do it. You just have to do it. Queer bodies, okay. Arnie Zane and I, we were companions, but we thought we were doing modern dance that was neutral. And he was a 5'4" Jewish Italian man, I was 6'1", African American man, and we thought we were doing something that was free of all those labels, but people told us, oh, it was so homoerotic. What is homoerotic, we thought? We were naive, we didn't know what it was. We were kind of doing hippie dance, right? But the world taught us a language. I'm not sure if it was right. That's one thing about it. What an artist is doing is oftentimes really different from where the world takes it. Larry Goldberg, you know who Larry Goldberg is?
Yes.
Yes, Larry was almost 300 pounds when he danced with me in the beginning. And I once said, okay, Larry, tonight we're all going to go naked on stage. You know, how dare you say that to him? You can imagine what his body is like in the world. But you know what? It was the time, and he said he practiced standing in front of the mirror first naked, you know, to look at this immense body of his. And then he got, I think he got support from his colleagues. He felt safe somehow. And maybe he also had a good dose of this kind of like, fuck you. It's hard on him, so he's the butt of the jokes, you know? But he was there, and we were making a community. At one point, we were trying, it was him, and there was a woman who was a dwarf, who I was interested in. And Larry was the one that said, well, Bill, we're going to be like a circus. You know, Larry said that. So there was this idea that we were kind of, our body types were what the thing was about. Now, I think that right now, I want to see queer people on stage, but I want to see them doing something that is smart, that shows that there's been like 100 years of kind of experimentation around non-traditional ways of using the body on stage. There's so many different ways. So queer people, it's not enough just to be queer or to be transgender on stage. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you saying? Now that's a case-by-case basis. I can't do better than that. My brother won't do more than that. Because you know what I'm talking about. It sounds like you have a purpose. And you have a healthy dose of irateness in your gut. And you know what? I know what you mean. Now, make the best work.
Thank you, I will do that.
Yes.
Hi, my name is Carol.
Hi, Carol.
Hi. I've been hired to work for quite some time, and I learned so much about you in my dance history class from a couple years ago. I've been curious for the Spanish translation of the United States, that when this was first choreographed, what was the true vision of it when it was first being choreographed in the first place?
No, what we did tonight?
Yes.
Yes. Well, you know, I had wanted, I was blind and I said, okay, well, just do the Pledge of Allegiance. And people were doing it, as I told them, many of them didn't know it. But then, there were Spanish people there, Spanish speakers, and they were trying, you know, they were thinking in Spanish and trying to, on the spot, translate it into English. So I said, okay, well, do it in your own language. Well, you know, I don't have your same Pledge of Allegiance. I said, well, do your own. And that's when it became clear that there were two Spanish-speaking men, and they were already doing it differently. So at that moment, we accommodated around my gaucheness, my kind of chauvinistic notion that we all have one idea. They were very kind. They didn't push back and call me a racist or anything like that. But we have a purpose. I want to not only have one language in the room. Can you show us leadership? And they did. They rose to the challenge. Is that what you mean? What did I mean originally?
Yes.
I just wanted everybody in that room to come out. You know, there was a moment I said, oh, anybody Jewish here? One person. He did this. Matthew, are you here today? No, Justin, sorry. Justin. He's not going to aim.
Hand in the air, Justin.
Justin, he was supposed to be on the stage here tonight doing the Shema, Israel, right? And he was going to like do it on his back, and just like she was doing the from Corinthians, he was going to do that. And I said, man, hold your hand up, you know? I don't know what it was. It was like, he sort of crept up like that, you know? And then, lo and behold, a day later, I think, Helen's Jewish. Helen, is she here?
Yeah.
But why didn't you raise your hand, honey, when I asked were you Jewish?
I did, but you were turning this way.
Pardon?
I did, but you
Oh, I didn't see it. Oh, it was like, you know, it was kind of like on the down low. You know, so I'm saying there was a lot of stuff going on in that room about who people were, you know, and if we had more time to work together, it would come out. But the question is, to what end? To divide us more, or to show about the richness? Are you satisfied? Is something you want to hear? What is it?
Myself? Well, maybe, I was just curious, though, and also I do dancing on the side as well, that, I see dance as a true meaning of what to show out there, but what you see, what you have a vision of.
Yeah, dance is really great because it's supposed to be free of language. It is supposed to be universal. But you know what? It ain't. It ain't. Who is on stage? What's the training? How much are you paying the tickets to see it? What age are they? What's the body shape? All that stuff comes into play. So no, it's don't believe it's neutral. Don't believe it's neutral. Yeah, but thank you very much, man.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's go back up here. Is there somebody up there?
Peace.
Peace.
I'm Veronika. In my art, I'm a dancer, but in my hands, I'm a visual artist, photographer, filmmaker. You mentioned, I probably will quote it incorrectly, but you mentioned that at times you often feel like you were a pawn in
A charismatic decoy.
yes, a charismatic decoy. And as my creativity is growing and I'm finding resources and people wanting to help me, I've often found that the concept of being a person of color is something very excitable to capitalize off of, especially with art, because as you mentioned, it's a very infinite way of creating power within yourself and within your community. How do you perceive the concept of fame as a social construction?
Ooh, wow. Okay. All right, so fame as a black person, is that what you're saying?
You can totally.
Because I'm not sure what the race had to do with it, though, right?
No, you don't have to say it with that. I just mean like as within my body, I feel like that's usually how my art is perceived.
Yeah.
But you definitely don't have to say
What
it.
about fame? You know, it's astounding, it's staggering now, the level of fame. Beyonce. One word. Millions of dollars. Millions of hits. Millions of clicks. Making careers by what she wears, you know. Wow. Now, has that made up for all of the inequality, social inequality that goes with black women? But you know what? It counts for something, doesn't it?
Yes.
Remember when Ebony Magazine used to be, you know, back in, when you were a baby, you don't remember, but a black dentist in Washington, D.C. You know, the first black racing car driver. You know, every one of us, every time we got anything, it was, oh my God, that first one. Now, you have multi-millionaire, billionaires who are black. Does that change? Has it changed now? Or does celebrity sort of neutralize the whole force of the evolution of certain ethnic groups? Does celebrity, when you have your first handfuls of billionaires that are black, something has changed because we're all supposed to be connected? I think you're asking about celebrity. How does celebrity actually separate you from your group? And I think it does. I think it changes things. It really does. Now you have to be really smart. My hat's off to Miss Winfrey. She believes in social change. She really does. And she's used her money and she uses her influence. But if you stand, anybody who knows a person like Miss Winfrey, when you're with Oprah, I say this, she is standing in a vortex. You can almost literally feel around her because everybody who comes into her space wants something from her. And that is, when I realized that, I thought, oh my God, what does that do to one? You know? So celebrity, yeah, we all want it, I think. But I don't think we even have any idea what that really is, you know? So I don't know how to answer your question other than to say, get famous. Get famous, get rich, and be kind.
Okay, I got you.
You know?
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, down here.
Hey, you've been standing over there for a while.
No, I'm sorry.
My name is Jared, and I am a junior in my high school.
High school? Damn, man. And big and handsome, yeah.
I do hip-hop dance and I do poetry, and so I was wondering how to really make your choreography come to life and be more than just choreography.
Well, just good choreography is a lot. You know, it's a lot. Choreography is not the problem. It's making good choreography. So I guess you're asking, what's my sense of what's good? One way I think I trust it, if you could turn off the sound and you are interested in the event from moment to moment. You're interested in the spatial arrangement and how it's shifting. You're interested in the weight of gestures. I mean, by that I mean, everybody can extend the arm, but then some people, when they extend the arm, wow. Now that, if you see a work that's made of gestures at that level of craftsmanship and inspiration, that's what I call good. How do you do it? If we knew it, we could bottle it and we'd all be like rich, you know? But it's trial and error. What do you love, my friend? I mean, what do you like to see? And how brave are you? Are you able to actually make something outside of your comfort zone? Are you able to? Are you curious to go and actually try to reinvent your notion, your taste, and what your understanding of movement is? Try that. Videotape the results. And now look at it. Approach it yet again. You know Jasper Johns is a great painter. He says, take something, do something with it. Now do something else with it. That's what his formula is. So, how do you make it more than just choreography? When do you start really talking to your soul? You look at the thing you're doing, and maybe you got a little time away from it. Oh, what am I doing? I was very angry there. Didn't think so at the time, but I was very angry. Or, that's really very disrespectful of women, what I did there. Why do you think I did that? Now, can I turn it around? So, are you talking to yourself through your work? We are self-involved, if you're an artist. But there's sometimes, for a reason, you're self-involved. Because you're asking, how can I tell if it's good? Well, get right with your God first. Don't bullshit yourself. Are you interested in it? Why are you doing it? And don't get stuck. Muhammad Ali, right? What is it? About the sting like a bee?
Flow like a butterfly.
Right. In your work, try that. Try making 5 different small pieces. Boom, 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 boom. Videotape them. Sit back. Look at them. Ask your most trusted colleagues. Come in. Look at them. Ask them hard questions about it. Now make 5 more. You know? What's your name, sir?
Jared Savage.
Jared. I'm not going to ask for a kiss. All right, Jared. All right, the world is yours. Okay. Now we just take a few more. Still Veronika?
Hi there.
Hi.
I've been in a conversation with you for I don't know how many years. When did you do
Uh-oh.
Tom's Cabin?
Uncle Tom's Cabin, 1990.
Okay, so ever since then I've been having a conversation with you in my head. But that's not the conversation I want to have.
I have those as well.
I saw the piece Story Time in Long Beach, and afterwards in the Q&A, you said something about that you were questioning the choices you had made as a choreographer, as a dancer, for that life. And then the dialogue really, I got really upset. You've had such a huge impact on my life as a consumer of culture.
And how could I be doubting what I had made?
Yeah, and then I got mad at you because here you have all these stages, like how many people want that opportunity? But I just wanted to say to you that, and I know that, I'm sure you've been told this a million times, but your voice is so important. And
Voice that is confident and secure. That's what you're saying?
no,
Because what you hear, what do you mean by voice then? What do you mean? Is my vulnerable voice doubting what I have done?
even that is an important presence. And I think that whatever stage you're in, how you express yourself is a powerful thing. And I think especially, I really wanted to ask this question because we are in a room of students, is that students, they need to know that vulnerable, doubting, especially at this moment in your career. It's not like you're at the beginning where you're kind of wondering, why am I doing this? Which every artist begins there, because who cares, right? There's no audience yet. But you've had this incredibly rich creative life, and now you're having that moment.
But I've always had the doubt.
Say that again?
I've always had the doubt.
Okay.
Which is, I'm almost embarrassed to say, but that is, I'm always doubting. I think it's in some ways it's a habit, in some ways chemical, because I'm a depressive person. So the doubt is always there. I'm now trying to learn how to wear it lightly, to understand it's always going to be there, right?
Yeah.
But you have to accept it. So I wish you'd been in this room last night about 9 o'clock in the evening. When Bill was getting cranky. Yeah. Bill was getting a little cranky, snapping at people and, not saying please and thank you and just shouting and wanting to throw a tantrum when he gets frustrated. Yeah, they saw plenty. The students saw plenty. And I purposely allowed them to see that so that they don't make me into something I'm not. Yeah.
Well, I hope you create a piece about that part.
Every piece I create is about that part. Thank you so much. And thank you all very much. Thank you.